Hey there, I'm Tom with Pro Tool Reviews, and I'm here to talk about the new Ryobi 15 gauge finish nailer. Pretty excited about this nailer in that it's lightweight. A lot lighter than the last one I remember, which came out back in like 2016, I think. This seems to be light years ahead, and I'm pretty excited to go through it with y'all. First off, as I look at this, you know, I really like this magazine. I like that it's wide open. I can see what's going on. I can see the nails and how many nails are going to be left in here. For example, once you put nails in here, you can fish these in, and you can see the nails that are left in there, how many you have left. Also, one of the things that I really like too that's been a big change in nailers is toolless jam change. Where if you have a jam, you don't have to take an Allen key out, take out any little screws or anything. You can just simply open this up, remove your jam, clamp it back down, and you're ready to go again. So the types of nails that this nail gun uses is 34 degree 15 gauge nails. And these come in various lengths, from 1.25 to 2.5. I have 2 inch and 2.5 here. We'll test both of these today in these different types of blocks of wood that we have. You also have a magazine that will hold 114 nails. And according to the specs, you get 1,500, I think it is, nails on one 4 amp hour high performance battery. Now, Ryobi, like a lot of the manufacturers, have a lot of different batteries that give you a lot of different amp hours, but we're not going to test that out today for sure. What we're going to do is look at how well does it shoot? Does it shoot the nails flush? How does the bump mode work and things like that? So before I go into a little bit more on this tool, I want to practice using it a little bit. That way I can get a little bit better idea of how this tool really feels in my hand, shooting nails, and how it'll perform. Always remember to wear PPE, the proper PPE, when you're going to use a nail gun or any tool for that matter. As far as what I'm going to shoot nails into, I have some 2x4 material with some just simple pine, which is really soft. And I also have this oak block, which is actually really solid. When you're shooting finish nails, a lot of times when you're shooting into hard materials, the challenge is to sink the nails flush. And we know that won't be a problem in here, at least I hope it's not. But I'm really curious to see how it does shooting into the oak block. And this here is laminated oak, glued together. And I have a little grid pattern on here to keep me straight as far as where we're shooting nails. And what we're gonna do is just try it out. Now, before we do that, there's 2 modes that most nail guns shoot in. One is sequential mode, and then one is single fire mode. And so what you have inside of this gun is a switch right inside of here where you can switch it between bump fire or single fire mode. Safety reasons, I'd say single fire is good for most people until you get used to the tool, and then once you get accustomed to it, and depending on the type of work you're doing, you can switch it over to bump mode and start nailing quicker. Honestly, for me, when I do trim work though, it's usually single fire. I'm not sitting there putting tons of nails in. I'm placing nails very precisely for, you know, reasons so that, one, I have less puttying and painting to do later, but also I don't want to split out the wood. I don't want to put nails where they shouldn't go. So for right now, I'm going to put it into single fire mode, and I'm going to take my oak block and go ahead and just line it up and see what happens. And it's flush. It's shooting these nails flush, and I haven't adjusted the depth or anything on this. That's really impressed. Let's try bump fire now just to see. And again, it's shooting them flush. Also, if you noticed, there's no delay. I could, as fast as I bump it, it's actually firing the nails in, and they're firing them flush. Nail guns of the past a lot of times would have this spool up or this delay between shots, and this nailer is actually, there's no delay. It's actually pretty impressive. So I don't think I'm gonna have any problem nailing into pine. You know, here's pine on pine, and oh yeah, it's really sinking them. So again, when you're using a finish nailer, you're going to always want to have to check your depth of firing. For example, here it's shooting them flush because it's such a hard material, and I'm shooting a 2.5 inch nail, so this is a long nail. In the pine though, it's actually, you can see here, it's shooting the nails really deep into the wood. So this is where you'd want to come into your depth adjustment. And on the side of your nailer here, you have this little wheel right here where you can turn it and adjust how deep you're going to shoot that nail. There we go. You can dial it in precisely so you can put the nail exactly at the level you need it. And just like any other nailer, don't keep your finger on the trigger. As you set this down, if this tip touches something, it's going to shoot a nail. So you want to be very mindful of what direction you're pointing it, where your finger is when you're not using the tool, and don't carry it around with your finger on the trigger. And that's just general safety for anything that has a trigger. Man, bump mode is really awesome. I'm really impressed. Compared to the nail guns, the cordless, and some of the cordless ones I've used in the past, this is a vast improvement. Oh, and as you can see here, because that magazine is wide open, you can see that I'm beginning to run out of nails actually, which is a nice feature too. You can see how many nails you have left. And I'm sure this actually has a lockout feature as well. When you get to the end, yep, it won't allow me to shoot any more nails. So once I get to the end and I finally use up what's inside of here for nails, it won't allow me to fire anymore. So another nice safety feature. So another thing that I noticed too as I'm using this, there's actually a flashlight. It allows you to see what's going on down here as you're shooting the nails. It's a big deal because sometimes you might be working on a project where you don't have good lighting. And having a little bit of a work light actually will allow you to be able to, one, precise nail placement, but also the small tip. You have a really small tip on this that allows you to get into really tight areas. And so combining the small tip with that light, you should be able to have some really precise nail placement. Let's go ahead and load up with another stick of nails here. And loading is really simple with this gun as well. You have a slot on the back of the magazine. Just slide your nails in, slide them forward, pull back, and then release on your tensioner here. And it'll allow those nails to push up into the top of the nail gun, and you'll be ready to fire again. So some final thoughts after using this nailer. Really impressed how it did in the wood. Definitely a good choice if you have projects and things like that you want to do. Would I trim out a whole house? Probably not. But if it's trimming out one room, doing a mantle project, building picture frames, maybe some light cabinetry, something like that, go-to tool, absolutely. You know, not having to drag out a compressor, an air hose, a nail gun, this simplifies it so much so. This tool is available at Home Depot. It's $279 as a bare tool. It's not available as a kit at this time. And really, it's an ideal choice for the price point that it is, for the power that it has. Definitely a top pick for me. So I'd love to know what you're thinking about this tool. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any questions on how to use a tool or maybe how you'd use it for a project, we'd love to know that as well. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. And I'm Tom. Thanks for watching.